Being able to balance a handstand is an impressive feat in itself and a component of many calisthenic skills. Training for the handstand is a unique process as it has a relatively low strength demand and relies mostly on balance and control. As a result, the practice structure resembles learning how to play an instrument or ride a bicycle rather than a traditional strength training protocol. Before discussing handstand progressions, I'll cover some key concepts about the skill. The handstand can be done with varying body shapes, but the desired aesthetic for calisthenics is the straight body technique. To do this, body segments should be positioned to form a straight line from the hands to the toes. The hands should be shoulder width apart with the fingers facing forward, the shoulders should be open to 180 degrees and pushing tall with elevation, and the back should be as flat as possible with a posterior pelvic tilt. A common limitation to achieving a straight line is a lack of shoulder mobility. If you can't reach 180 degrees of shoulder flexion, the body must compensate to keep the weight over the hands. This is usually done by arching the back, and restricted shoulder range is often the cause of this posture. A simple cue that will help with most alignment issues is to try to make the body as tall as possible. To help with balance, focus your gaze on the hands or the floor between them. Extend the neck as much as you need to achieve this, but try to keep the rest of your body straight. Like when standing on the feet, the body is never completely still in a handstand. Rather, your weight is constantly moving around, and you're making corrective adjustments to keep it over your base of support. As a beginner, this will likely happen with gross movements such as bending the arms or arching the back. As you improve, corrections will be earlier, smaller, and ideally isolated to the hands and wrists. Finally, you don't need to be rigid or tense all of your muscles in a handstand. Like standing on your feet, you just need to engage the relevant muscles to support yourself and maintain good posture. For example, your upper traps work in the handstand to push tall, and your glutes will engage to keep a posterior pelvic tilt. Rather than focusing on specific muscles, you can just try to maintain balance and form a straight line. Through doing this, you'll engage all the relevant muscle groups. Now that technique's been covered, the following progressions can be used to work toward the handstand. Inverting can be intimidating. This exercise will help develop strength, control, and confidence for the handstand. Start with your feet against a wall and walk your body toward a handstand. Only go as far as you feel confident. Try to make the body form a straight line from the shoulders to the toes and perform a posterior pelvic tilt. As you build confidence, get closer to vertical. Build to holding this for sets of 30 seconds. Before trying fully inverted postures, it's important to be confident exiting the skill. If you're not confident exiting, it's unlikely you'll commit to freestanding handstands or full chest to wall holds. Start in an angled wall handstand and exit by cartwheeling to the side. Step with one hand and land on the same foot as the side you're exiting to. As you build confidence with this, invert the body more and finally push off the wall to replicate falling over. The chest to wall handstand is a progression from the angled wall handstand. This will help with building strength and refining alignment. Walk your feet up until your hands are no more than a few inches from the wall. Have your upper chest, thighs, and toes touching the wall with a posterior pelvic tilt. If these 3 points are making contact, you can be confident your body has good alignment. You can also choose to do this with just your chest and toes touching. Filming and reviewing your sets is a great way to get feedback on body position. Build to holding this for sets of 30 to 60 seconds. The back to wall handstand can help you develop confidence kicking into the skill. Start with your hands a couple of inches from the wall and push with one leg as you kick the other. Gradually increase the height until your feet hit the wall. Remember to open your shoulders as you invert the body. When you're confident kicking into and holding the back to wall handstand, practice balancing by pushing with your fingers to lift your feet off the wall. This will help you learn to correct from falling over towards your back. Balance for as long as you can with each attempt before returning to the wall or falling down. If you fall under towards your feet, just kick back up and repeat the process. This can also be done with the legs split or one knee bent to reduce arching of the back. Try to form a straight line with the body in one leg with the other foot touching the wall. Then gather your balance and bring the legs together. use the option that feels most comfortable. As the fingers extend further in front of the wrist than the heel of the hand does behind it, it's easier to make corrections to stop you from falling over than falling under. Consequently, only very early corrections can be made with just the hands to prevent you from falling under. This exercise will help you learn to correct your balance by moving the shoulders. Start in a handstand with your hands slightly out from the wall. Maintaining a straight body, lean the shoulders forward until your feet lift off. Then move to a straight vertical handstand by opening the shoulders before resetting and repeating. If you're proficient with this, you can lean the shoulders forward to reset rather than falling back to the wall. For an easier variation, practice this with the legs split. Try to form a straight line with one leg and flex the other hip so the foot touches the wall. Then lift off and bring the feet together. This method won't force you to lean the shoulders forward, as you can counterbalance with the other leg. If you struggle with the feet together, using the split leg option can help you build control. When you're able, progress to training this with the legs together. This will ensure you lean the shoulders forward and help you develop this balance mechanism. With the skills learned from the previous exercises, you should be well equipped for freestanding handstands. Kick up and try to balance while maintaining the straightest line possible. To challenge yourself further, you can incorporate different shapes such as the tuck and straddle. Handstand practice should be done before your strength training sessions or separately when you're fresh. Practice should be frequent, consistent, and focus on drills that lie at the edge of your abilities. That is, exercises should be challenging, yet achievable on most attempts. If balance is the main issue, spend most of your time working on this with the wall balance exercises. If alignment's the main issue, address any mobility limitations and spend the majority of your time on alignment exercises such as the chest-to-wall handstand. As hand balancing is less fatiguing than strength training, it can be practiced more often. I recommend beginners start by training handstands every second day for 10 to 20 minutes. If there are no issues with fatigue or soreness, gradually increase the duration and frequency. Generally, more practice means more improvement as long as a high quality of training is maintained and recovery is adequate. Many elite hand balancers train 6 or more days a week for a couple of hours each day. For training routines to help learn the handstand, check out the beginner skills or handstand programs in the Base Blocks Plus app.